Hi everyone! I hope that I was able to get everyone who is interested directed from Periscope over here, because today we're going to be talking about a new thought on gratitude journaling, which kind of a cool new thought. I read this and have been studying up on it, and it's been really amazing and goes right along with Project Me and what we're talking about. So we're going to be talking about that. So I do want to introduce myself for those that are new. We get new great girls in here all of the time. But welcome to Project Me. My name is Jenny Penton, and I am a artist and designer and created Planner Perfect and designsbyplannerperfect.com, and I teach women how to write a better story. And that really is being able to, hey there, hi Damaris, hi Leon Mary, hi Kelly, I'm glad you made it. I'm gonna be, I love to teach you how to write a better story, and that means really identifying who you are outside any kind of role that you play. I think a lot of times we get into this mindset that we are what our roles are, and that is setting you up for such severe what's the word I'm looking for? It's setting you up for failure, because you will soon find out that you'll get complete burnout and you'll be lost because you can't identify yourself directly with that role. So for the longest time in my 20s, I felt that being a mom was who I was. You know, I always wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be married. So I felt, well, this is my this is who I am, you know, and that's how I identify myself. Well, what if though all of those things dissolved? What if you didn't have that anymore? All of a sudden then you've lost your identity. What if you think that because you're caring for a mother or a grandparent, or that's solely what you're doing and it takes up all of your time, that you identify yourself with that is what you are and that is who you are? What if that goes away? What if there's a new home for them, or worse yet, what if they pass? I mean, so it's kind of like you cannot identify yourself with the roles that you play, and so many women do. And then especially mothers, they are so into the servitude and neglecting their gifts that then they go into after the empty nesting syndrome, and then they don't even know where to begin or who they are or what to do. Mind you, that's why we need to know this now. We need to know this totally now. And I want you to know it's never too late. If you guys think, number one, that any woman would be interested in hearing some of this, you can share down there to your friends, and I really implore you to do so, so that they can hear this message. It's very important. So if you would share, that would be great. Basically, unearthing that is why Planner Project Me was really kind of birthed, because Planner Perfect, the method and the way that it's set up to plan, is for a woman that already has that knowledge and that unearthing of who she is and in Christ, and then understanding the gifts and talents that's been given to her to pursue something that only you can do. And so once you know that, then the method becomes a piece of cake. And I was finding that a lot of women didn't know, hi Gail, hi Tammy, didn't know where to begin, where to start. It was difficult, but rather it's really not. It's very simple. But I think what was the setback was that they weren't able to identify who they are. Their pages looked blank. They didn't know what to script and write, and it was getting it was difficult, and some may have even left. So hi. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Pam. And it's just crucial. It's just crucial that you do know who you are outside. Hey, Stacy, outside of that role. It is just, it's so important, because I did notice that no going out to try to find yourself, you know, as a mom especially, going out and thinking, oh, I'm stir crazy, I got to get out of here, or going out with friends. I used to go out with girlfriends all the time, but I'd still come home and I would find was refreshed, but I would still find that, oh, I'm still doing this. You know what I mean? And I was like, who am I? And it was something that God kept tapping on me to be able to find, and all of that. God has given each one of us gifts, okay? And he's given us these gifts, and along with our talents, we can push that into our directed purpose. And it's something that all of us need to strive to know what it is. And it's really not that difficult to find. It's usually right below our noses. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, Kathy. I know, and even though you wish you knew it when they were young, Kelly, you can do this now, and they can see you thrive now. And a lot of times, if you notice, and I remember all the time, and I can still get caught up in this, is that if you ever notice that when you don't know who you are outside your role, let's talk about moms here, since I'm a mom of a billion. Do you ever notice that you'll blame other people for your unhappiness then? Do you ever, because you don't know who you really are, so you're in this role, right? And you're not very happy. And so then, like, you'll blame your husband and be like, you know, where the heck have you been all day? Or, you start to nag and you start to complain and you start to point fingers. You know why? Because you're not satisfied in who you are. You're not pursuing you. You're not busy thinking of what you're going to pursue. If you knew that you were in the middle of writing a novel, you know, that's invigorating and exciting. And then it excites and invigorates your motherhood and your roles. So if you ever notice that if your roles are bleh, and you're not baking in the home, you're not caring about your home, you just do it to get by, you go to bed exhausted, you're grumpy mom, all of those things are because you aren't knowing and understanding who you are and your identity. Because once you do know, then you elevate the role that you're in. You're a happy person. You attract happy. And when you have interests for yourself, you attract goodness and all things good. Your husband will notice you. I mean, you know vibes from people. You can check out if I can emit a horrible vibe if I'm in a bad mood. Watch out. And I am really watching it. Now that I'm aware, once you're aware, watch yourself. You can emit some pretty crazy bad vibes, and it won't go away. It won't go away. You've got to keep yourself in check. Keep your moods in check, because you have a choice. Okay, so understanding who you are outside that role you play is crucial. It's critical. And that is the first step. And that's why we're here. This is Project Me. This is really understanding, because all else, that's why this matters, because everything else you touch, it'll affect your motherhood, your friendships, your everything. So that's why you need to do you. The best project you'll ever do is you. So you need to know who you are, and that way you can be a better role model for your own children. And that's the biggest thing for especially my daughters. So when they go into their motherhood, and I want them to be able to know that they need to pursue their interests while home. You know, you can do it. Pursue what you love at home, bloom where you're planted, and you'll just enjoy your motherhood. You can type while they're sleeping. You can be a speaker if you so wanted. You could do whatever you wanted. Yeah, hi Susie, I'm so glad you're here. Hey Lorraine. And so this is something that is very, very critical, because it affects every other area of your life. And if you notice that if you're a mom or if you're married, that if you don't have interests, then you're really everyone was wired and made to have interests, and if you weren't pursuing them and thinking and you're, in that role, and you don't have time for that kind of stuff, then you're going to send out bad vibes, and your husband will pick up on it, and it's bad all around. Bad all around. You want to make sure you're very conscious of how you're acting and how you are, and if you are emitting good vibes. You do have a choice. So the first thing is to know who you are, what your interests are, dust them off, get busy. It's usually whatever you're loving or what you tend to gravitate to, do more of that and see where it takes you. If that kind of is not what it was cracked up to be, then move on to something else until you find it. So it's there. It's right there. Just keep pushing and how can you express that and help others? Because ultimately what your talents and your gifts are and what your purpose is to help others. Always, 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 what God has given you for your gifts and talents is to bless others. And it's so amazing because that's how it's all set up. And how God set this whole thing up. When you help other people, whether it's something you've learned through a sorrow or what you've gained from something or failed at and conquered, or that you have a gift for writing and you write and inspire, or you keep people engaged, or you make people laugh and you take everyday things and you make women happy because they listen to you. I mean, just think about all the different things that you possess that you are holding back because you don't know that you are fully equipped as you are. God has everything in you right now to be able to pursue what he has for you, your purpose, okay? And if you need to go do something to further it and hone in on your skills, then do it. And so that is that. And also just to know, which I heard, I love Bob Proctor, and I heard this and I thought this was just perfect. And he talked about polarity, how the laws of the spirit laws that God's created, that there's a polarity, and that there's the south and the north and the inside and the outside and the good and the bad, and in the middle is just what it is, okay? And I think in particular, I'm always coming from the perspective as a mom, but obviously it applies to everyone. But when you come up with something bad happens, okay? That can happen to me all of the time. So a toddler being so naughty that it can throw my day in the toilet if I don't have the right mindset. I have come to know that I can have a choice on how I react to the adversities that happen. We have a choice. That's really good news. Think about that for a second. That's really, really good news. So there's 3 things that he said that I thought was amazing. I've applied them, and it's phenomenal. The first one is that it is what it is. So when there's something that pops in, let's say that I'm going to go ahead and say that whether it's my toddler or let's say my printer that did our plan books went yesterday, all of that kind of stuff. Those kind of things, when they arise, you can either let them tank you, or you can actually turn it around and choose and harvest the good. So the first thing is it is what it is. So when something happens, you look at it and you say, you know what? It is what it is. Okay. Now, number 2, harvest the good. Harvest the good out of whatever it is. So the other day, for example, my toddler, okay, now he's 3 and he really can hit the tantrum mode if he wants to. And I, for a while, was like, let's just never go anywhere, stay home. And I was like, quickly found out that was not the right route to go. So I was like, we're going to go out, we're going to go to the safari park, we're going to have a good time. And he had the time of his life. There's even a picture of him on Instagram. He loves seeing all these animals where you stay in your car and you see the bison and all this. And then when we got home and ride home, he screamed until we were all deaf. Okay, all the way. I don't even know why. The buckle felt funny. I have no idea. Okay, but all I know is that I said to myself, it is what it is. He's crying. It's okay. Now, mind you, your children are watching how you react. Okay, I've bombed a million times on this, but I don't bomb as much anymore, and that's what's important. And I'm like, it is what it is. Okay, he's crying. It is what it is. It's okay. So the harvesting the good out of that is that we still had an amazing time. We were able to get out and get fresh air and see some animals and learn. We then got home and I harvested, like, and also my boys, they're tough as nails when they're little, and they're just gentle giants when they get older. I just know this is how they are, but they are tough as nails when they're young. And you know what? They're leaders, they're strong boys, they're self-thinkers, and I'm thinking that's good. My boys are strong-willed, and there's always good in that. There is good in that. And so that's harvesting whatever good there is, because there's always good. Always good. God intended it all to be good. And then I love this part. Number 3, call it good. So instead of calling it out as like, well, this was a dump of a day, you say, you know what? It's all good. It's good. It is good. Like when God even called everything into existence, it is good. When he was done after each one, it is good. And so it's just a matter of just keeping that perspective and that mindset that it's good. It's all okay. And you know what? Pretty soon, when you're only sending out vibes of good, then the bad dissolves because your vibration's off. And I've learned that your vibration levels are like a college ruled paper. So wherever where your vibrations are at are what you're going to be attracting. So if it's bad vibes, you're going to just attract the same thing over and over and over. Take it up a billion notches and go raise your vibe higher. And hey, this is all good. This is all good. There's good out of this. It is what it is, and it's good. And so we got home. We had an amazing lunch. We were laughing, talking about our day. I posted up some pics. We read books. We played Play-Doh. We made a great dinner, and we played outside afterwards. I even then got me in. It all went according to what I had mapped out for that day anyway, even though we had a big blip of him screaming all the way home. Sometimes that would have tanked my day. I would have been like, again, it's happening again. And I would have been focusing on the negative, and that's something you definitely want to get out of. So I'm hoping that this kind of helps a little bit in how you view anything that comes in your day. And so when you wake up in the morning, you're like, thank you, and you are thanking God for all that is good, for energy, for all that he's about to do, that yes, it is. You've got to find the positive, because I'll even notice sometimes, and it's good because when you're aware, this is what matters, but I will notice and I will start to rehash, like give excuse. I'm talking to myself. I'll give excuse for why I was feeling that way, and I'll say, well, I mean, this happened, and he did this, and then he did that, and then she did this, and then this happened over here. So clearly anybody in my same situation would look like this with their face and be in a really bad mood. I'll rehash it to myself to give excuse to why my vibe's so down. And I was like, wait a minute, Jenny, you never, ever, ever want to rehash a problem like that. You want to go ahead and always, always, always be thankful for promise. And so I turned it around and I said, you know what? That might have been my yesterday, but today's going to be amazing. And I'm going to be full of energy. And today, if anything comes my way, I know that I have a choice. I have a choice on how I feel. I'm going to pursue me, and I always make sure I pursue me. And we'll talk about how moms in particular, if there's something that you want to pursue and you've got little ones, I've got a great scope for that, and I will be doing these soon. I got lots up the pike. But so you've got to make sure that you've got carved out time for you to pursue you within your motherhood. And you make it work with how your dynamics are. Just make sure that you do make it work and fit it in. And so that is for realsies. So I want to show you something really quick. This is how I'm going to kind of wrap it up. Write a new today. Isn't that true, Ebony? Totally. But look at. Now, here's my gratitude journal. I'm not going to show you in it right now. But this is it. It's kind of hard to see, kind of a lot of light. But the gratitude journal. We all know how to write in a gratitude journal, okay? Now, this is awesome, and it's important that we dive in and it keeps our perspective, doesn't it? The gratitude journal. I mean, when you write in there, you're taking focus off of everything that could be negative, right? And you're focusing on what you do have. You're like, instead of focusing on what you don't have, you're actually focusing on what you do have. That's what makes the gratitude journal so amazing, okay? And mine's filled to the rim of just what I'm grateful for. And every day to go in there keeps your perspective, and says, wow, I'm blessed. That's really great. But now listen to this. I have something that I'd like you to do. It's a challenge, okay? So what about if you were thankful for things that you've yet to see? What if in your grateful journal, in your gratitude journal, you were grateful and you were praising God for the unseen? What if you have a relationship with one of your children, your adult children, that you wish were different? What if you're already praising God for the fact that it's all well and okay, and you can see yourself actually doing lunch with them now and having a wonderful time and hugging and holding hands and picking out tops together? What if your in-law situation is really stinks and it's affecting things? What if you were praising the Lord for everything and being grateful for having a wonderful relationship with the family? That's changing your vibration. That's changing your vision, and everything that you envision, what you're thankful for, and you'll attract. So instead of just focusing on your storehouse being full, why not be grateful for things that you wish were, or that you want to see manifested but don't know how the heck you'd ever even see it? Well, this is how. And I want you to get inside your gratitude journal, because it's a great place to do it. And I want you to get in there. And we do know Kara, he will take care of everything. But we got to do our part. And God won't do anything if we're not knowledgeable of his laws and what his word is. And that's where we fail. And that's why so many people are wondering, why isn't God answering my prayers? It's because we don't know stuff. We don't know his word. We don't know his spiritual laws. And one of them is that you need to do your side of things, and that's being grateful for what he's already done. So get in here and write out everything that you're grateful for that he's already done. And so many things that I've been writing in here for, and it's just been so amazing because it changes my vibration. It changes how I feel toward the people that let's say in relationship wise, how I am communicating with them. Because if I have this poor vibe about us, like I'm sensing that they don't like me or something like that, then my vibe will match it. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and lower myself to what I feel that vibe is. But if you've got a good vibe, and if you're already grateful that relationship is crushing it and it's awesome, then your vibe is already going to be, and you're going to be acting as though there's nothing wrong. You're going to go ahead and send off that email like, I love you, because you have a good vibe about it. You will keep that perspective of that God is already manifesting these things. He's already done it. It's up to us to grab it and do it. So raise up that vibe. And he has wanted us to live with abundance and joy and all things good on this side of earth. We don't need to do, just live this life and, let by whatever it is, it shall be. And then in heaven, everything's great. God intended for the earth to be amazing too. For when we're living here on earth, we are to be having a wonderful life and blessing others and telling them the great news. So you do have to know his promises before you can apply them. And if you don't know his promises, that's your first thing you need to know, is what his promises are. And when you go over those promises and you know them and you say them and you write them, then you know that they'll come into fruition. So get within that same vibe. Understand and catch yourself now when you get into when adversity comes, and how you act, and know that you have a choice. And one other thing before I go, I think is very important that I learned, is that you need to let me see if I can find it. Take 3 different standards for your life. This is really great just in practice, and then comes to who you are now. I know in my 20s, I didn't even know who the heck I was. And if I had a talent, it was art. If I had any kind of talent or gift, I really didn't know it. And then I thought, well, maybe art really wasn't for me. There was a lot of things I vacillated on. I really felt that just being a mom was it. But I never, aside from that, I didn't even know what my convictions were. That's not very good. But there was a lot of growing I did, and and finding those out is really awesome. So you need to know what your true convictions and beliefs are, and they can't just be from your paradigms from when you were a kid and you're just carrying that up. Well, I do this because it's always been done. You can't go that way. Come up with 3 principles or standard principles that you truly are convicted of and live by. And then take each one and hone in on that and focus on that one thing. So let's say honesty. And now let's say that you truly believe in honesty. And of course that's biblical, right? Anyway, but let's say that you really hone in on, you break it apart, you take it out, and you really look at it. That means in everything that you do, you'll be honest. And it'll be easy. You'll always do the things that are in that vibration of honesty. And that means only things honest will be coming back to you. So, in terms of how you have conversations and how honest you are, or ungossipy, always keeping things real, and just being very honest and true, that women know, or people know, that they can depend on you to be honest, and of course in a loving way. Just something where you want there to be honesty in your life. And so pull apart different things that you believe in. So and even for me, for being a homeschooling mom, I remember for a while I homeschooled because my aunt did. After a while it was like, why am I doing this again? I had to find out why I was. What is my standard behind it? And is it good? Should I tweak it? Do I need to learn more? Why am I doing it? How will it benefit my kids? How will it benefit our family structure? And what can they learn? Just pick out 3 things that are very, very important to you in your standard, and then everything else will just set up around that. You know what I mean? So really focus on that. It'll really be a life changer and a game changer, because it'll really set up your vibration and your vibe by your core beliefs. So you want to have core beliefs, and this is why Project Me is really good, is because you're going to want to identify some core beliefs that you got, because they could be operating on a false self. So if you've got some baggage or something that you believe you're operating on, but you're not getting good return on it, it's probably because you're operating on a false self. So if, like I've said in many other project videos, that if someone said that you were fat, and then you believe now what they said, and you've let it go into the subconscious, then you're operating off of thinking like you are fat, and that you are now insecure, and that you're not worthy of getting clothes now. And that's now your new standard. You see what I'm saying? You can have very, 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 very false standards. And that's what Project Me's about, is that you're going to want to dig through some of these beliefs that you've got about yourself, and dig them up and find out, why do you believe that? And is it good that you have that belief? If you are insecure, find out why. Find out and dig out. And you don't have to worry so much about trying to change the bad thought, as much as just replacing it with a good one. So instead of, okay, Jenny, you're not fat, or you're not, you're not this way, you're not that. No. You only do the positive. So that way you just drown out the bad. So instead of that, you can say, I am thin, I love my body, I know I am beautiful, I am confident, I walk confidently, I am worthy of buying new clothes, I love color. Only say things that are positive and inspiring to you, and then the bad and the ugly and the old paradigms will dissolve. They'll just dissolve away, because the good will always replace the bad. God made good. He made good, and it's all here, and it's ours for the taking. So let's make the choice to take the good in everything, okay? So that was my Project Me for today. I just thought it was so important that you girls know. And I'm going to show you in a YouTube video. Look out for it. It should be here next week. But it will be, it's going to be an inside look of my gratitude journal. I want you to see how I've done it to inspire you. You don't have to do it the same way, but it definitely might be something you could take off with and do on your own. But you know, as I'm always into writing things down because it's a brain dump of sorts. It gets it out of your head and onto paper, and it shows yourself that you are for reals, that you're living your life with intent. That's why the whole plan, book, method, all that's there, is because when you write out your life in detail, that's showing that you are living on purpose and you're living with intent, and you're making a statement on paper to say so. And details matter, because if you don't have them, then you don't know how you're going to do it. So you got to get detailed. So all my mamas out there, all my women who maybe are empty nesters, find out who you are outside the role that you play. And your planners can be full just because you don't have children to take care of. You can be filling it with all of your hopes and dreams, your exercising you want to do, how you want to live well, feed well, eat well, how you want to bless others, how you want to release things and give them away, releasing money. All of this is blessing and giving and being grateful and changing that whole vibe. So get in there, focus on your top 3, and all is good, girls. All is good. So anyway, thank you for popping in to Project Me this week. I hope I got some more new ones over from my scope lovelies. So be sure to share. You still can, even on a replay. You can share this out. If you think that there are women who want to know, you can either tag them, take it, copy the link, share it on your page, whatever you want to do. But have some more women get over here to Project Me so that they can truly take care of themselves, and that other people and their whole lives will then be affected by this good news. So anyway, girls, have a wonderful, blessed day, and I will talk to you soon.